Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Steph from the Hot Moving Podcast. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday as we are entering our second week into the new year. So cool. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate the support and everything, man. You guys are great. Anyways, Mike Tomlin, the Steelers head coach. He does it again, right? No losing season once again. I mean, it's truly incredible, right? And look, man, I still think we need to go in a different direction. Just because, I mean, as phenomenal as this is, 17 years as a head coach and not to have a losing season. Yes, Mike Tomlin to me is a Hall of Fame coach. Okay, he's won a championship. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Okay, he gets a lot of respect around the league and in the Steelers organization, right? Despite all the turmoil, the fluctuations, the ups and downs, players, different personalities in the locker room, the Antonio Browns of the world, the Juju Smiths, and the George Pickens and the Najees and everything, and dealing with Ben Roethlisberger and his situations when he was in the hot seat. He's navigated all that to still keep football a focus, right? He gives a lot of these rah-rah speeches, and, a lot of times it sounds good, and sometimes I'm just scratching my head with Mike Tomlin. I've been strong on I think it's time for him to leave, not because he's a bad coach. I'm sure Mike Tomlin will get picked up pretty quickly. But I just think it's time for a new voice, right? And, for me, and I've said this all the time, is like, as a Steelers fan, just having a season where we bottom out, would be great, right? Just so we can have a very high draft pick, and pick a quarterback for the future, right? I still don't believe in Kenny Pickett. Mason Rudolph stepped in admirably, and the services are appreciated, but that's not gonna get us far. And however today shapes up, we may get into the playoffs, we may not. If we do get into playoffs, that's cool. It's awesome, right? Good for Mike Tomlin. Once again, resume stacking. But what are we really going to do in there? TJ Watt has a grade 2 MCL sprain. Is he really going to be 100% to play next week if we do get in? So there's a lot of things to consider Mike Tomlin. The Steelers are not going to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? But I think for just a different voice to have somebody fresh in there would make sense, right? I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, replace Mike Tomlin with who?" And I get it, right? And it's a risky proposition to kind of tear down the culture. But again, what kind of culture has Tomlin really established there, right? He talks about run the football, playing Steelers football defense, playing tough and everything like that. No excuses, attitude and everything. But I mean, you see how some of these players be acting, right? He's definitely a no-nonsense coach, but he's also a player's coach, right? All the meanwhile coaching in an organization that's very mom-and-pop, family-oriented. They're a legacy franchise in the NFL, and we are just mediocre, right? Finishing out these seasons, a winning record lands us where? Doesn't help us in the draft standings. Okay, if we make it to the postseasons, we're not gonna make any noise, right? We're gonna stand still, right? Next season, I expect Mike Tomlin being there and Kenny Pickett being the quarterback. Guys, it's going to be the same result, right? We may finish 9-8, 10-7, 12-5, 11-6, somewhere in that range, right? And we battled in the AFC North. You know what I'm saying? We really did, despite all our deficiencies and everything. So I give Mike Tomlin credit for navigating us too. But there was that weird window where we lost 3 straight or whatever. It was bad. But we navigated this season. He navigated the season well. So again, another great coaching job from Mike Tomlin, but just everything how it started with Matt Canada, a very slow offense. The offense upticked once we got in the new coordinator, in-house coordinator, and offensive coordinator. It was much better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still gonna stand put on Mike Tomlin. Should be gone. But now I know that sounds like, oh, why Mike? It sounds bad, but I know there's a good chunk of Steelers fans who would like a new voice, something fresh, right? A coach that can be a little more innovative, maybe this time around an offensive head coach, right? But yeah, let me know what y'all think about Mike Tomlin. Once again, not having a losing season, and what should the Pittsburgh Steelers do going forward with Mike Tomlin, right? I mean, he's going to stay, but do you think he should stay, right? Do you think it's time for a new voice despite us finishing out 10-7? Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.